The marble floor was cold beneath her knees. Emma's hands trembled as she gripped her son's small shoulders, trying to shield his eyes from the body sprawled 10 feet away. Blood pooled dark and thick around Marcus's head. Her ex-husband. Dead. Shot by the man now standing in the doorway, the man her 4-year-old was supposed to fear. But Luca didn't scream. Didn't cry. Instead, he wriggled free from her grasp and ran. Straight toward Dante Romano, the most feared Mafia boss in New York. The man who'd just pulled the trigger. "Daddy." Luca's small voice echoed through the penthouse. Emma's world stopped. Dante's gun arm froze mid-holster. His dark eyes, cold seconds ago, went wide with shock as the little boy crashed into his legs, wrapping small arms around expensive black suit pants. "Daddy, you came back." The words hung in the air like a confession. Like a detonation. Dante's gaze snapped from the child to Emma, and she saw the question forming. The calculation. The dangerous, lethal intelligence that had built an empire now focused entirely on one impossible word. Dad. This is a story that will grip you from start to finish. If you want to know how everything began and where this leads, subscribe to the channel and leave in the comments where you're watching from. Every view counts. 3 months earlier, Emma Carter's life was measured in tips and hours. She worked the lunch shift at Catalano's, an upscale Italian restaurant in Manhattan where entrees cost more than her weekly grocery budget. At night, she cleaned offices in Midtown. Between shifts, she was mom to Luca, her entire world compressed into one 4-year-old boy with her green eyes and a smile that made every exhausted hour. Chen's apartment, the elderly neighbor who watched him for rates Emma could almost afford. Luca chattered about his day, about the dinosaurs he'd drawn, about the cookies Mrs. Chen had made. Normal. Beautiful. Safe. She tucked him into bed in their tiny one-bedroom apartment, kissed his forehead, and whispered, "I love you more than anything." "More than dinosaurs?" Luca asked sleepily. "More than all the dinosaurs that ever lived." He giggled and curled into his worn stuffed elephant. Within minutes, his breathing evened out. Emma sat on the edge of his bed, watching him sleep. 4 years old. Perfect. Everything she'd sacrificed for, everything she'd run from Marcus to protect. Whatever Dante Romano was, whatever he wanted, she'd keep Luca far away from that world. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Your car is about to die. The transmission is gone. There's a mechanic on 9th Avenue who owes me. Bring it tomorrow. D." Emma's blood went cold. He'd noticed her car? He'd looked into her enough to know about the transmission? She should have been terrified. Instead, something else entirely twisted in her stomach as she reread the message. The Mafia boss had just entered Emma's carefully controlled life. She didn't know it yet, but Dante Romano never did anything without a reason. And his interest in her wasn't random. It never had been. The mechanic shop on 9th Avenue was squeezed between a bodega and a laundromat. Emma pulled her dying Honda into the bay at 7 a.m., before her shift, before she had time to overthink what she was doing. A man in grease-stained coveralls looked up. "You Emma?" She nodded, throat tight. "Keys." He held out his hand. "Mr. Romano said to fix whatever's wrong. No charge. I can pay. Lady, you don't argue with Dante Romano. You just say thank you and move on with your life." 3 hours later, her phone rang. "Dante." Not a text this time. An actual call. "Yes." "Step away from that door." "Dante." "Who the fuck are?" Marcus's words cut off with a choked sound. A thud. The crash of something breaking. Emma held Luca tighter, covering his ears as sounds of a fight erupted in her tiny apartment. It lasted maybe 30 seconds. Ended with a final, heavy thump. Then, "Emma, it's safe. Open the door." She hesitated. Luca was shaking in her arms. "Bella, Please. I need to see you're okay. That word. Bella. Something about the way he said it made her believe him. Emma unlocked the door. Her apartment was destroyed. Furniture overturned. Lamp shattered. And Marcus, unconscious on the floor, blood trickling from his nose. 3 of Dante's men stood over him like statues. But Dante only had eyes for Emma. He crossed the space in 2 strides. His hands framed her face, tilting it up to study her. Did he touch you? Are you hurt? I'm fine. We're fine. But she was shaking. Couldn't stop shaking. Dante pulled her against his chest, one arm around her, the other cradling Luca between them. He was solid. Warm. Safe. Emma breathed in the scent of his cologne, something expensive and cedar dark, and felt the adrenaline finally crash. You're coming home with me, Dante murmured against her hair. Tonight. Both of you. This apartment isn't safe. I can't just. Emma. He pulled back enough to meet her eyes. He found you once. He'll find you again. Let me protect you. Please. She looked at her destroyed home. At Marcus bleeding on her floor. At Luca's tear-streaked face pressed against her shoulder. Okay, she whispered. Dante's men moved immediately. One stayed with Marcus. We'll handle him, was all he said. The others began packing Emma's essentials. Within 15 minutes, she and Luca were in the back of a black SUV, the city lights streaming past the windows. Luca had stopped crying. He was staring at Dante with wide, curious eyes. Are you a soup? They faced each other across the kitchen island, her heart racing, his eyes dark with want. This is insane, she breathed. Probably. I don't know anything about your world. I'll teach you. Luca needs stability. I'll give it to him. Dante, her voice broke. I can't afford to make another mistake. I can't bring another dangerous man into my son's life. I'm not Marcus. He moved around the island, slowly, giving her time to retreat. She didn't. I would never hurt you. Never hurt him. I swear it on everything I am. He was close now. Close enough that she had to tilt her head back to meet his eyes. Close enough to see the genuine emotion there, want and need and something that looked like desperation. What if I can't be what you need? Emma whispered. You already are. He cupped her face in his palms. Gentle, reverent, like she was something precious, something worth protecting. Tell me to stop, Dante murmured. Tell me you don't want this and I'll walk away. I'll still protect you. Still keep you safe. But I'll never touch you like this again. Emma's hands came up to grip his wrists. To push him away or pull him closer, she didn't know. I can't, she started. Then he kissed her. It was soft at first. Almost hesitant. A question wrapped in contact. Emma's brain screamed warnings. Too fast, too dangerous, too everything. But her body melted into him. Her hands slid from his wrists to his chest, feeling the solid muscle beneath expensive fabric. His arms came around her waist, pulling her flush against him. The kiss deepened, urgent and consuming and perfect. When they finally broke apart, Emma was gasping. Dante's forehead rested against. Dante wanted to send a driver. She insisted on taking a cab. At 11:45 a.m., she stood in Riverside Park, hands shaking, with nothing but hope that she could somehow talk Marcus down. He appeared at noon exactly. Looked worse than she remembered, unshaven, eyes bloodshot. Desperation clung to him like cologne. "Where's my money?" he demanded. "I don't have it. Marcus, please, just let this go." "Let it go." He laughed. "You stole 5 years of his life from him. You let Romano get attached to a kid he doesn't know is his. That's worth way more than 50 grand. I'll get you money. Just give me time. I gave you time. Now I'm giving you a choice. He pulled out his phone. I call Dante right now, or you come with me. Quietly. We go to his office together, and you tell him the truth. In front of me. So I can watch. Why would you? Because I want to see his face when he realizes you've been lying to him. I want to see what the great Dante Romano does when he finds out the woman he's protecting made a fool of him. Emma's vision blurred with tears. You're sick. I'm broke and angry. And you're going to give me a show. Marcus grabbed her arm. Let's go. Let her go. The voice was ice. Emma and Marcus both froze. Dante stood 15 feet away, flanked by 3 of his men. His expression was carved from stone, cold, lethal, absolutely furious. Romano. Marcus's grip tightened on Emma's arm. Perfect timing. We were just about to come see you. You have 3 seconds to take your hand off her. Dante's voice was quiet, deadly. After that, you lose the arm. Marcus released her immediately. Emma stumbled back, rubbing her wrist. How did you? She started. You think I don't have every phone in my home monitored? Dante's gaze never left Marcus. I heard the call. All of it. Emma's stomach dropped. He knew. He'd heard Marcus say it, about Luca, about the DNA, about everything. Then you know what she did, Marcus said, emboldened. She lied to you. That kid? He's yours. Been yours the whole time. 5 years she kept him from you. Quiet. One word. Marcus shut his mouth instantly. Dante finally looked at Emma. His eyes were unreadable. Is it true? She couldn't speak, could only nod, tears streaming down her face. Luca is mine. Yes. The word came out broken. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to. You're right. Emma's voice broke. You're absolutely right. I should have told you the moment I realized who you were. But I was scared. I'm still scared. Of you. Of this world. Of losing him. You think I'd take him from you? I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. Dante's jaw worked. He turned away, ran a hand through his hair. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. He calls me Daddy, Dante said finally, his voice barely above a whisper. He's been calling me that for a week. And God, Emma, it felt right. It felt perfect. Like something inside me clicked into place. And the whole time you knew. You knew it was real. I'm sorry. She was crying again. I'm so sorry. I need time. He turned back to her, and the devastation in his eyes broke her. I need to think. To process this. You and Luca, you'll stay here. You're safe. But I need space. Okay. What else could she say? Dante walked to the door. Paused. For what it's worth. I understand why you were scared. Why you didn't trust me. This world, it's dark. It's dangerous. And you were just trying to protect our son. Our son. The words hung in the air. But Emma. He looked back at her. We're going to figure this out. Because that little boy? He's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Even if I only just found out he's mine. Then he left. Emma sank onto the couch and buried her face in her hands. What had she done? She'd tried to protect Luca and had only created a bigger mess. Dante was furious. Hurt. And she'd earned every bit of it. But Marcus was gone. Finally, permanently gone. And despite everything, Luca was safe. Now she just had to figure out how to fix the rest. The truth was out. The secret that had shaped Emma's entire world for 5 years had been exposed in the worst possible way. Marcus was dead. Dante knew he had a son. And Emma had no idea if the man she'd fallen for could ever forgive her for keeping that son hidden. The only thing certain was that nothing would ever be the same again. Dante didn't come home that night. Or the next. Emma barely slept, playing every scenario in her mind. Would he take Luca? Would he throw them out? "I forgive you," she said softly. "For being angry. For needing space. You had every right." "And I forgive you," he responded, "for being scared. For protecting our son. Even if it broke my heart, I understand." "So where does that leave us?" Dante smiled, that rare, genuine smile that transformed his entire face. "It leaves us here. Together. Figuring it out. One day at a time." He pulled her onto the couch beside him, wrapped his arm around her shoulders. Emma melted into his side, finally allowing herself to believe this could work. "I have a question," Dante said after a moment. "Okay." "That night, 6 years ago, did you feel it? The connection?" Emma thought back. To the handsome stranger who'd made her laugh. Who'd looked at her like she mattered. Who'd made her feel beautiful and wanted and special. "Yes, I felt it. So did I." His voice was quiet. "I looked for you after. But I only had your first name. And by the time I found the bar again, you'd quit. I thought about you for months." "You did." "Emma, you've been haunting me for 6 years. Walking into Catalano's and seeing you there? It felt like fate. Like I'd been given a second chance." He pressed his lips to her temple. "And then finding out about Luca, about the fact that that night created something so perfect, I can't regret it. I can't regret anything that gave me him." "He's the best thing I've ever done," Emma whispered. "He's the best thing we've ever done." Dante corrected. "Together. Even if we didn't know it at the time." They sat in the quiet of the penthouse, the city lights twinkling beyond the windows. For the first time in 5 years, Emma felt truly safe. Truly home. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Anything." "When he called you Daddy the first time, what did you feel?" Dante was quiet for a moment. "Like everything I'd done. Every choice. Every dark thing I'd had to become. It was all worth it. Because it led me here. To him. To you." He turned to look at her. "I'd do it all again, Emma. Every bit of it. If it meant I got to be his father." Emma kissed him. Soft and slow and full of promise. When they broke apart, Dante's eyes were bright. "I love you," Dante whispered. "Both of you. All 3 of you. We love you too." And as their daughter kicked against her father's hand, as their son slept peacefully down the hall, as the city lights twinkled beyond the windows, Emma knew with absolute certainty that this was exactly where she was meant to be. In the arms of a dangerous man who'd given her the safest life she'd ever known. In a world that terrified her, with a man she trusted completely. In a family built on secrets that had become the truest love she'd ever known. Forever. And that's how the story ends. A mafia boss who killed a man. A child who called him Dad without knowing the truth. A woman who kept a secret that changed everything. And a family that proved love can survive anything, even the darkest truths. If you connected with this journey, leave your like and share with someone who you think will love this story too. More stories are coming. See you in the next one.